Okay, so let's see if this works right now.
It's live.
It's live. Okay, good. So yeah, welcome to Project Vayner episode 59. This is the documentation of my journey as a content creator towards getting a job at Vayner Media in New York City. And once a month, I'm doing live episodes where I have a different guest every time. So this is the 8th live episode that I'm doing. And today we have another Swede here. It's a guy that I've been following for a while on social media and looking at his stuff because it does similar stuff that I do, work a lot with video, and he's really skilled and fun to follow. So yeah, welcome to the live, Jonas Holmqvist.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that you invited me to this show. So I'm really grateful for that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, good. No worries. I'm glad to have you here. So yeah, just start off with if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my name is in Swedish Jonas Holmqvist. I don't know what that is in English. Jonas Holmqvist, maybe, I don't know. I work here. FilmVision is my company. So I think a lot of you videographers can relate to this mess here. Like I got my Ursa Mini Pro Blackmagic there on the floor, and this is my editing space. And here I got shelves for all the stuff. And, it's a mess because I've been working all summer and filmed a lot of different stuff. And so, yeah, you know how it is. You don't always have the time to tidy up, to clean your room. But I will tonight because tomorrow another guy at this desk will rent this desk couple of days a week. So so this is my company. I'm making films for commercials for companies, and my customers is, I don't know how the sound is here, I'm just walking through it. And my customers is local businesses here in Sweden, but also I'm aiming towards Stockholm and Gothenburg and so on. So what I really do is I help companies to be a better version of themselves through films, actually. So I think with my films, I'm helping them to grow and to believe in themselves a little bit more. So you can go in a lot of details in what I'm doing, but like, to make a long story short, I create, I film, I edit, I deliver, and make people happy.
Right. That sounds good when you describe it that way.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. I like it.
But you're based in Norrköping, right?
Yes, I'm based in Norrköping, it's south of Stockholm. And I lived here for quite a while now actually, because I moved here because listen, I started to work in my dad's company when I was 12 years old, and then even since then I worked on with so many different stuff and in so many different industries. And after a while I felt like, no, I got to do my own thing. So I found a education here at Linköping University, and I felt like, yeah, maybe that's my way out, because I didn't know what the way out was from my previous life, living in a small town and didn't have so much I don't know what the word is in English, but David, help me. Förutsättningar, what is that in English?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, okay. But I felt like I needed to change my life, so I went here to study, and it became actually 5-year studies, and that's why I moved here, because I found an education that was practical. It was not so much like theory, because I'm not the guy that reads. I'm the guy that do stuff and produce stuff. And so at the same time as I did this at the same time, when I was at the university, I started my FilmVision business, and it's on that road, you know. And I just did that. That was my plan B when I was in university, but now it's my plan A, and it's my own plan. I guess, you know, it's where the money is for me right now. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit, you know, I'm live, man.
Yeah, no worries. But was it video that you studied in Norrköping then?
Well, actually, it was not. I thought when I went here, I thought that it was possible for me to learn a lot about filmmaking, right? But as it turned out, it wasn't like that. So the education was I don't know what the English word is. Projektledare, project, like a project management education, and so everything was, we worked towards deadlines all the time. So we created different projects in our class in groups, and we worked towards deadlines all the time. But the thing is that I wanted to learn about film. That was why I moved. I changed my whole life and I moved there. So I felt like, you know, I felt a little bit like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. So I don't know how to say this, but in every project that I was in, I always sold to my friends and professors that, yeah, we need to do film to this project as well. So I always produced film, but the education that the program I was on, it wasn't a film program. So I created my own reality during the university because I had to. Did that make sense?
Yeah, so it's kind of like grew the interest for video while doing the education, or
no.
Do you have like a background in creating video or stuff?
No, I always knew that I really loved film. Like I loved watching movies. Like when I was really young and I lived with my dad, he got like this a lot of channels, and I watched a lot of movies, and I learned all the actors and the directors and even the playtime on the different movies, and I just loved the whole. I love that world. Like I escaped into that movie world, and that was all I really knew. Like I when I moved here, I just knew that I want to do something with film, and I see everything in images, and I know, and I always felt like it's really hard. Like my dream wasn't to be a videographer. Like I have different dreams, but at the same time, I'm super passionate about what I'm doing because I can. I create my own reality through filming what's in my head. So it's hard in English to explain this whole thing, but I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Or it was like if you had a background in video, or if it was like an interest that kind of grew along the way.
Yeah, well, I can say like this, like I think I just had, I think, you know, the first video project I actually did in school, they used that for a couple of years after to show other students how you actually can do it in those kind of certain ways. So I think from the beginning, I was I was talented, I think, in what I was doing and what I was drawn to. And that sounds, I don't know how that sounds, but I just think that's how it is. From the beginning, when I started to film and do stuff like that, I always knew that I wanted to be this way and I wanted to be that way. So actually, from the beginning, I was more of a director. Like I wanted to be a director. I still want to be a director amongst a lot of things. But I learned early that I have to learn everything. I have to learn the whole process to be able to create what I want to create. So it's like, so I did that because I did that. I had to do that because I know what I got within me, and I know that. Listen, I've been doing this since 2009 professionally, and people don't have that endurance. But I knew then, and I know now that I have, and that's why I felt like it's really important for me to learn the whole process, so I can actually create my own life and live my own dream. I'm sorry, David. It's hard to explain. I'm trying.
No, but it's interesting that you're saying this, because it's kind of similar to how it was for me, because I've never really had like the dream to work with video. I was more into like graphic design, and when I was searching for a job, a lot of companies asked if I could do web development as well, because a lot of design was like for the web. So then that led me to actually study web development to get like a broader base. Just like you're saying, it's good to have like a couple of things that's connected to each other to get the full picture. And like that kind of led me into video, actually. So sometimes it's not like a straight road, but you have to like go a little bit to the side and learn new things to be able to find what your thing is and to grow like on that path.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you had like the self-awareness already when you were young, like this is something that I'm good at, it's something that I want to do.
Well, yes and no, because like how I grew up, I'm like this. My father has an own company, right? And he's like this. I don't think either of us is like a businessman or anything like that. We are working class. We produce stuff. We work. You know what I mean? So at the same time, when you're in that environment, you're getting kind of, it's also like you have a blindfold on. Like, so it took many years for me to understand that I was able to create big things, much bigger than I did before. So I always knew that I had an interest in film, but I mean, I never understood that I could do it. But it's so hard for me to express myself here. But like, I have a big belief in myself, and that's why I'm standing here today, and that's why I'm not living still in where I grew up and stuff like that. I think because I felt like if other people have done what I'm trying to do, then it's possible for me, right? And especially if I feel like I have the ability, I have the artistic ability, I have the work ethic, I have all of those stuff. So why wouldn't I do that? Like, I would waste my life if I wouldn't take the leap, right? But like, it's a really hard road to. It's not easy to. I don't know how to explain, but like, if I would have listened to people around me, then I would have a total different life, right? So it's a lot of things you need to. I'm sorry, David. I feel like I can't answer your question. good because it's so complex and
Yeah.
it's such a long road, and you know, I've been through so many things that uh, I have sacrificed a lot. So I think that's
Right.
something that you need to räkna in. What's that? You need to
Count for or something.
yeah, I guess that like that's a
Yeah.
part of it. So it's
Mm.
not when you say like yeah. I'm sorry, David. Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up. So ask me
But
something.
one thing that I'm interested
Yeah.
about is because you said that you've been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
How do you feel like social media has affected the business during those years? Because obviously a lot of things has happened there, and how you can connect with other people and find clients. So is it something that has been like a challenge for you, or just an opportunity, or what's your view on that?
It's totally an opportunity. I have always there's something about social media that I have always understood, and people even today still doesn't, and that is the effect that it has on people. So I remember like when I started out. Let's see. Listen, 2009 I started FilmVision, but I was in school then as well, right? So it wasn't until 2014 that I started to do it on full time. But just to take an example, like 2014, I needed to make some kind of money because if not, I would not be able to have my business. So I remember I put it out there on social media, like everywhere, and I just said like, "Hey man, I don't work for anybody anymore. Now I do this. This is what I am. This is what I want to do, and this is what I'm doing. And if somebody wants my help, then nobody is happier than me. And when I did that, that actually enabled a lot of things for me. And people saw it, and people are getting affected by those kind of stories. So I think I have always understood that, and I've used it for my I don't know. It's a huge tool. Like so, it's for me it's weird that people still don't understand. I think actually now 2019, I feel at least here in Sweden, a lot of things that has happened in people's mind state around social media. It feels now like people understand the value now of telling stories with film. Like they understand that it actually should cost money, even and now I'm talking about smaller businesses and middle big businesses. Like the big corporations has always understand, I guess, the power of film. But now it's a big part of our everybody's life, right? So it has a huge if you speak about social media today and you don't believe in it yet, then I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
But do you also feel that it's a tough challenge to like explain to some companies that, because they often compare the cost of video and the cost of text and pictures and stuff, and then they see that, oh, but the video is so much more expensive, or it can be so much more expensive, but they don't consider like what's the actual outcome from it. What can you gain from having a good video strategy within your company? Do you feel like that is a challenge to explain to companies?
That's a challenge as long as you can't communicate it like for yourself, right? When you learn to explain, like you can never think that another person will understand what you understand, or think about what you're thinking about. Like you really do have to over communicate to the person at the other side of the table what this whole thing is about that you're doing, and you really need to think about that like always. Like So for me, still today, I think like I'm thinking about like how can I explain this? How can I present this in front of a lot of people? Like how it really affects people with the stories and all of this that you do with you're working with storytelling, right, with film, and how does it really affect people? And I think when you're able to communicate that, then you will make the sale, right? But that it's really hard, but you can never expect from anyone at any time that they will understand what you are doing or selling or creating without you communicating it like really clearly.
Yeah. So for like a person that's starting out as a freelancer, would you say that that's one thing to focus on, to not just focus on delivering quality, but actually be good at communicating the result of what you deliver?
If you're going to start as a videographer or whatever business, I think you need to think about what do the customers need and what do they want, and what is it that they don't know yet that they want, and how can you present that? But I mean that's just one part of it. Then you need to be good at what you're doing, and you need to produce. You need to produce stuff, and it will take years till you got good quality, and you just can't give up during that process. You can never do that. You just need to go, like keep going. Decide for yourself what you want to do. Like, but okay, listen, from the beginning, like who are you? Like who are you? What are you good at, and what are you bad at, and how can you use that knowledge to like maneuver within your own craft, right? And can you match that later with what the customers need? Well, then it's a home run, right? But it's so to be a freelancer, to have a smaller company or something like that. That is, it's. I have never done anything that hard. But I also like when it's really hard. So you need to be a little bit like woohoo, like that as well.
Yeah, and that's when you grow as a person, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I see that like when following you, you also you're also using like the video strategy on yourself by creating content and putting that out there on different social media channels. Like you have started a podcast quite recently also, I think.
Yes.
So is that like a marketing strategy that you have to use the social media to build awareness around what you're doing?
Yes, absolutely. Like for me, I feel like I'm just not one thing. I love to do a lot of things, but what I do know that I love is creating, right? So the podcast, actually, I do that because of a lot of stuff. Of course, it helps me a lot in my marketing, in a lot of different ways, because I can get my personality out there. But at the same time, it's really hard because it's my guest's personality that is number one, and that's super important because that when I understood that enabled me to do the podcast. Because it's hard to explain, but I needed to find out how can I do this with the small time that I have left, and anyway, but the podcast, I have it for a lot of reasons, like my marketing, of course, but for me personally, I want to learn. Like I want to be better all the time. Like I feel like when I'm learning, I'm growing, and I get new perspectives, and I want to try new things and stuff like that. So I've understood, like, I've understood that with myself, that I love to learn new stuff, and I love to create. And I also understand that, like, when you're sending some kind of positive energy out there in the world, or like you're putting something out there, that is, in a way for me, I'm changing the world a little bit, because like, people are watching something, listening to something, two people meet and they talk, like you and me right now. Like what we are doing right now, we are changing the world, actually, because someone is looking, and they look at this meeting, like, we're creating something. This is art for me. Like, that you and me speak. I never met you in person, but we have followed each other on social media, and now we're talking here, and now we're creating something. And someone out there is feeling like, holy shit, they're talking, and like, we are creating something. We are creating an energy that has never ever existed before, and it would not have existed if we wouldn't have done this right now. So all this, like, it's energy, it's art, it's, you create it, you learn something, all of those stuff. And combined with also that 2018, I really went in, like, in a metal wall, like, I burned out really substantial, right? So that was also like a solution for me, that I need to do something right now that I feel like is on my terms, a little bit, like something that I want to do. So, yeah.
I totally agree on your description of the podcast. That's basically what I feel as well with these live episodes, because I'm, at the same time as I'm creating content, I'm also networking, I'm also learning new stuff, picking up new things, seeing things from different perspectives that maybe I didn't know or didn't thought of. So it's just so beneficial in so many ways, I think.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. Like if you're not doing it, then nothing will happen.
Do you have like
sorry.
Yeah. Do you have like a goal for the next year? Like, if you're looking 1 year ahead in the things that you're creating, is it like any special project that you want to do more of, or something that you want to focus on more?
Well, actually, like this year, the whole second half of this year, my goal is to really catch up in a lot of ways. So that sounds small maybe, but that's what I need to do right now in my life. So that's what I'm doing. And what I mean by that is to just produce a lot of fucking material, and finding a lot of new different clients, and connect with my old clients, and like really be out there and selling, and make my business really work. So that's what I'm doing now. That's why I'm working all summer here, and we'll do all the time rest of the year. So I'm really trying to make my business successful, so my health can be at 100% as well, because that's health is number one for me nowadays. Like, it wasn't before, but it is now. So my business and my health is my priorities for this year. And next year, I actually I need to reach my I need to reach my first million, actually. I know that sounds, maybe, I don't know, superficial or something like that, with money and stuff like that. But for me, like, absolutely, my financial goal is to reach 1 million. And I feel totally fine with talking about that. It's not weird. Like, if you're having an own business and you're just one person, and you also pay other people and stuff like that, you gotta be able to make 1 million to you. I don't know. That's just for me. Then I also I have a YouTube channel as well, and I'm trying to. I have strategies there, and I really want to be become bigger there, so I can influence even more people in a positive way, and really show my journey in a raw way through vlogs and podcasts, of course. But honestly, for me, like goals, and you need goals, and you need to have, because goals gives you also like a purpose and a meaning. So it's super important. But for me, listen, man. Last summer, I couldn't think, I couldn't walk, I barely could breathe. I was at the bottom, like in the bottom of the ocean, right? So after that, I really understood that nothing matters if you don't have your health, like nothing matters, right? So for me, number one is health. So actually, that's where I'm gonna put the bar right now for me. Like, if I don't reach 1 million, actually I don't care. Like, but I know that I need that as well to be able to reach my to be able to reach my goals, and also to be able to reach some level of health, because I really think that money and health are connected to a certain point, right? I think when you start getting rich or something like that, then money is not a problem. But as long as the money is a problem, then it affects your health, right? So so that's
Right.
that's important. But I want to still create. I want to keep on creating. Where I do it, I will see. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But of course, the place where you're creating at is also important for you to reach your goals, which is important because now I understand why you do this thing. Like, I guess you're a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, and you want to go to New York and work for him, I guess. Yeah. So I think you should go, man.
Yeah. Should I just take the next flight? Like,
yes.
Wait outside his office?
You should. Because you know why? Because after my school years, I thought like, oh, I'm gonna take over the world now. I mean, I've worked since I was 12 years old. Directly after high school, I worked full time and all those kind of things. And now I have a master degree. So shit, man. I really thought that I was the shit, right? And I tried to apply for a lot of jobs, because at that point I didn't want to have my own business, because I see in my father having his own business all his life, and his entire life. So I saw the back ends of that. But so I applied for, I don't know, maybe 100 jobs, like locally and in Sweden. And I searched and I tried to get a lot of jobs in the States as well. So what happened when I tried to get jobs in the States and in New York and stuff like that? I mean, of course, nobody wanted me, like, for a lot of different reasons. But one reason is, if you're going to work in New York, you better be in New York. It's simple. So if I were you, do you have kids?
No.
So do you live? Do you have family? Or?
No, I live by myself. So
okay.
I definitely have the opportunity.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I feel as well. Like, it's so much easier when you're actually over there instead of here.
Yes, of course.
And also the green card aspect.
Yeah. I think that's tricky with it's a challenge with the green card, but it's not a challenge at all if you're in Sweden, right? So let's make it a challenge. Like, go there and just try to make it work. And it probably maybe doesn't work in the beginning, but if you won't quit, it will happen. And I think this is the time to do it. This is really the time to do it. Like, do it, man.
Yeah. Man, I have to think about that one, actually.
Why?
Yeah, that's what I felt like when I'm starting to freelance. I'm doing my last day as a employee on Wednesday, and then I'll start the freelancing career. So, but it felt like it's a really good point in my life, just because like I live by myself, and I'm not too old, I'm not too young, I still have some experience. So yeah, I feel like I can try my wings, and I know that I have something to offer now. So
What do you want to
and
do?
I feel like I'm on the right. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I interrupted you. What do you want to do, like in life? What are you passionate about? Like, I want to get to know you.
Yeah, so I want to kind of create a different lifestyle where I'm more flexible and more remote, where I can work like where I want and when I want. So, and I know that there's like a long process to get there. And like one of the ideas is to create multiple sources of income and make them grow over time to be able to do that while still doing some like consulting work. So that's like a long-term goal, and also of course the goal to work at VaynerMedia. So yeah, I just feel like I have to kind of be in the process and always see the opportunity where I can improve, and just put it down like brick by brick, because it's more like a lifestyle that I need to adapt to be able to make it, instead of like a project for 1 year or something.
Yeah. Okay, so the income's different. I think that's great. I mean, awesome. Different incomes and stuff like that. Let it grow over time. Like, but your craft is like, what do you love to do?
Well, I love to create and to tell stories and to make people feel something when they watch what I do. Like either educate people by doing tutorials or stuff like that, or like inspire people or entertain people by the videos that I do. So yeah, I just want people to like watch what I do and really enjoy it and really like feel something that I have affected their life in a positive way in some way.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like the creative part is also like a big thing that drives me, that I never know the outcome when I start. I always know that this can go in so many different directions, and it's up to me to form it like into something valuable. So that's something that really like triggers the motivation.
Yeah. Okay, can I ask you maybe a difficult question? But when you create like a YouTube tutorial, do you like the feeling? Do you like, what is it that makes you going? Is it the feeling that somebody has actually watched you and liked what you did, and you feel almost complete through that, or is it how it makes them feel? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's I think it's both, and that they are connected, because when I see like people that are commenting and writing like, oh, thank you so much for this like quick and easy tutorial, it really helped me, like then I feel good, because it's not just like doing something clickbait just to get views, and then the people will just go away and dislike the video, but they actually watch the video and they actually appreciate it. So that's, I feel like I've accomplished something with the video. So it's not just one view, but it's actually a valuable view, because they feel like they got something from it. So and then yeah, it makes me feel better also, of course.
So it makes you,
but I feel like if I'm when I do it like the right way, I feel like it's a win-win. because it feels good for me and I enjoy doing it while I'm also helping someone else. So
Awesome, great. That's perfect. If you can have that, I mean, if you can put yourself in that situation, like all the time, that's the most amazing part of it, I guess. Yeah. Cool.
But I guess that's what you feel as well with the stuff that you're creating. Like you enjoy doing it, but also you create value for the people that you're helping.
Yeah, exactly. Like I truly like have a passion for helping people. I mean, especially in small businesses and stuff like that. Like I grew up in a small business, right, with my father's small business, and now I have a small business, and I know, like I know the struggles, you know, and the big passion for me is that everybody like deserves to be heard. So I help people to be heard, right? And when I help people to be heard, I feel great. Like that's like if when I'm helping people with that has that need, and I mean that's so amazing. And also when you have those reactions from those people, I mean. So that's amazing, of course. But of course, me and at the same time, in my head, I need to create. I need to do something. I need to create something, and so of course, then it will be a win-win because then it's like utlopp, like no, it's an expression for me, right? To create. So so it's a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a question, but I've just lost it, I think.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. So when are you going to New York?
Yeah, I haven't anything booked at the moment, but actually, it's kind of I kind of have a plan with the vlog that I've created last year that I've been doing for a year now, because when like the number on the vlog, instead of having episode 1, I had episode 001. So it was like a message both to the people watching, but also to myself that this is going to be a long process. This is going to be at least 100 episodes before I see any result. So I just like said that to myself to be able to focus on developing and get better instead of just trying to reach the goal without doing the process that's needed to reach it.
Okay. Sure. You know, I worked a lot of.
Does it make sense?
Well, it kind of makes sense when I go back to the old Jonas, because
okay.
you know I work a lot with like I really love to develop myself and to learn and stuff like that, right? So I have a friend, Annette Slin. She has also an own company. Like she's working with personal development. Fuck. Are you still here now? Somebody's calling. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Fuck. Can I answer it? No, I can't. Then it will be recorded. Fuck. I have to. Listen. I'm sorry. I need to just write to him. Svara. Är i live-samtal online. Ringer upp ASAP. Live.
You can record this and then send it to him afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You disappeared from. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But the thing is, like, we were talking about goals, me and Annette, where this conversation we talked about goals, and I also have a lot of big dreams, like what I wanted to do. Like New York is a goal for me as well. Like our goal is.
Right.
I really love the image, the romantic image of New York. Who knows like being like living there. You don't know until you do it, right? But I told her about really big dreams for me, like I want to do films in Hollywood and stuff like that, right? Or just start to make my own, not commercials, but like films with acting and stuff like that. That's my dream, and I had it up here, right? There was the big dreams. Then I had a lot of things here, and we said, like, why don't we take that dream and just pull it a little bit closer, right? Pull it here, so we can see it. Not just like that. I know. I'm also a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He's talking about. He's talking about buying the jets and stuff like that, and that's a huge cost. So of course that's up there. But so that's one thing. But going to New York, for example, that is actually a goal you can bring here. And when you will go there, then you will have new goals after that, right? So so I guess it makes sense if I feel, if I can be frank with you, I feel like you're going a longer route than you need. I think you should see it as an adventure, and I think you should see it as an opportunity, and just go there and operate from that, and learn to be an expert in your craft in New York. Is actually the place you want to be. Go to Vayner Media every day. Work there. Just go there and just wait for Gary and meet him. I think. Listen, what's the name of the vlogger? Neistat, right?
Casey Neistat.
Now I saw that he moved to LA, but I mean, he do what he does. I would love to do a Swedish version of Casey Neistat for myself, and I'm trying to do that on my channel soon. Another version of him, but being a vlogger, right, in here in Norrköping and in Sweden. But I always had to prioritize my money so I can eat.
That's important.
Yeah, that's important.
Thinking about the health again.
Yes. But I think you could do great things in New York if you just go there instead of doing a 100 episode vlog about going there. I think it's not a process how you should get there. The process starts when you are there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just how I am. So I'm sorry if I don't know.
No, but I see your point, and I like the tough question, because that makes me think, and that makes me challenge
that's cool.
My decisions and the steps that I take. And I think, like, just by going there, maybe I discover something that I need to improve that I wouldn't discover if I just like stayed here and continue on the same path. So yeah. But you were talking about like having a dream of going to Hollywood. Do you want to? Are you more into like TV, or are you more focused on YouTube and the web? Like, if you compare those two.
Yeah, for me, of course, I'm looking at the industry and stuff like that, right? But I'm not. I don't know, man. I'm not super interested in that. Well, like, what's the difference and stuff like that. I'm just interested of like I have this one life, and I want to create things. I want to do great things for me and my future family when I have kids and stuff like that. So I think I just need to do what I believe in, and then where it will end up, like if it's in a theater in LA, or if it's on YouTube I don't know, man. But so I think I don't know. What I mean with Hollywood is that I want to do those kind of films, right? I want to write and direct my own films. So that's like a little bit of a struggle of mine to have this company where I try to send where I create something for companies, and then I invoice them, of course, so I can eat my food and pay the rent. And at the same time, I'm trying to do this film. I don't know, man. But the thing is now that conflict between those two industries in my head has really. I actually have decided. I have decided that FilmVision is number one for me now. Like, that's what it's about for me. My company is what it's about for me. And then I feel like hopefully if I can have a healthy life, I would probably live till I'm 80 or something like that. And I truly believe that within that time, I have reached it to Hollywood. If that is if that will still be my dream, but so that's how I see it now, to be able to cope with it, you know.
Yeah.
So
So it's more about creating the stuff that you want instead of like the format you create in.
Yeah. It's for me it's like that, and to be able to maintain like the both things, I feel like I need to focus on what brings in the money right now, and but maybe I don't understand your question exactly with this TV and YouTube and how do you mean?
I was just thinking, like, if the goal is like the traditional format of video and creating long form videos that goes on television, or if you are like more into like different formats of video, like small pieces to social media or short videos to YouTube, or but it sounds like it's more like the creative process and things that you want to create, and it doesn't matter as much like on which platform it's shown.
No, platform doesn't matter for me. That depends on what the where the what the time is. Like, if everything is on YouTube, then it should be on YouTube. I don't care. But of course, I would love to have it in theaters. What I'm talking about, that I'm right now I'm doing commercials for companies, right? But that's one type of industry, and then you have the movie industry, and that's a total different world. And that's a big dream for me as well. So that's two different worlds. I mean, I would like to do like a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, you know, that you can watch in theaters in LA or whatever, New York and so on. That's that would be amazing. But so what I meant with the things that I said is it's such a huge things for me in my head that it has been a problem for me to cope with those two ideas. Like, how should I choose? How should I pick? Which way should I go? So for me to be able to be calm in the whole situation and not and to be able to manage it or cope with it, is that FilmVision is number one. I'm creating video content, let's say, for customers, and my big movie dreams are coming, but that is a little bit more of a long-term goal for me, but it's not too long. I hope I can be there as soon as I can, but maybe I think okay. I think I understand what you're talking about, but small videos or short videos or long videos, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's about what I want to talk about and what I want to create and what I want to put out in the world. Then the format itself, that's the last piece of the puzzle almost. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think I kind of see it the same way, but like now I'm I have a lot of focus into like the short form content. I think that is really interesting, but you never know what's going to happen in 5 or 10 years. Maybe I have like different goals that I want to, different kinds of formats of video that I want to create. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
So what is short format for you? What does that mean? Like,
so for example, like that I've seen that you've done from your podcast, like taking out a 1 or 2 minute clip, putting subtitles on that and share it on Instagram, for example.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, like kind of video nuggets, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
Instead of like the whole meal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that just, that's how I do, and it's just a way of getting people's attention, I guess. Get it from different social media platforms and send them send them to the next social media platform. Like maybe you have a video of 2 minutes of something, and then on YouTube you got the full hour there, right? It's just a way to throw people to the next door, right? Through the next door, I guess. And you got the ability to make it entertaining and interesting, and for everything you edit, you learn, right? So
okay, but I think we're going to wrap this up. But I really appreciate that you took the time to join this live and share your story and your thoughts and ideas. And if someone is want to find you, where can they find you? On
they can find
or social media accounts?
My website, my social media, Jonas Holmqvist, I guess. And I also have the YouTube channel that I'm trying to like make a lot better very, very soon. So yeah. But I'm a little bit worried. Like, do you feel that did this lead to something good for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
At least I got like the tough questions that I've never really asked myself. And also it's always interesting to hear someone else's story and how they got to where they are and the challenges that they have. So hopefully the people that have been watching and that are going to watch afterwards will find something valuable in this episode.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, I think so. It's really hard for me because I've interviewed myself a lot of people, but I'm never getting interviewed. So it was a little bit. I appreciate that a lot, and I really hope. Like my like what you said, hard. What did you say? Tough questions.
Yeah.
That's just that comes from me. If I, it's just good intentions, you know. So I hope.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So,
thank you.
And for the people that have been watching, thank you so much. I hope you appreciate it and that you are going to come back to the next live episode and see what guest we will have that time. So thanks so much for this time, and see you later.
Thank you.